Have you ever stopped to think that everything you've been taught about extraterrestrials might be completely wrong? What if I told you they didn't come to dominate Earth, but to help you heal from the inside out? Yes, they are among us, silently guiding our spiritual healing, accelerating our awakening, and actively participating in our energetic transformation. Sounds crazy? That's exactly why you need to watch this video until the end. While many are still trapped by fear of the unseen, others are already having incredible experiences with star beings, receiving guidance, going through deep healing, and accessing a kind of wisdom far beyond the human mind. Do you feel like you carry pain you can't explain? Repetitive patterns that keep holding you back? A constant sense that you don't belong in this world? Maybe, just maybe, you're more connected to the cosmos than you think. In this video, you'll understand how extraterrestrials help in spiritual evolution, what the signs of their subtle presence are during healing sessions, and how to begin opening up to this transformative energy. If you're tired of shallow answers and want to dive into a kind of knowledge that transforms, not just the mind, but the soul, then stick with me. What you're about to discover here might unlock something and change everything. It's hard to imagine, at first, that beings from other planets would care about the pain of our souls. But the truth is, benevolent extraterrestrials are already working silently behind the scenes of our reality, actively participating in the process of spiritual healing with ETs. They don't just observe, they intervene with love, using technology so advanced that to us, they seem like magic. In sessions of interdimensional Reiki, for example, many report the presence of lights, voices, and subtle touches that come from no human practitioner in the room. This is extraterrestrial help in healing, acting discreetly but powerfully. These star beings and their spiritual energy do not work alone, they cooperate with our guides and mentors, often taking on the role of energy doctors in higher planes. In certain cases, during deep meditation sessions, spiritual channeling, or even lucid dreams, people report immediate contact with beings of unusual appearance who radiate peace and wisdom. They perform true spiritual surgeries, removing blockages, healing traumas, and reprogramming limiting mental patterns. Those who experience it rarely come back the same. If you feel that no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to progress emotionally or spiritually, maybe it's time to consider that something greater is working in your favor. Spiritual healing guided by beings from other worlds isn't just real, it's more accessible than ever. The awakening of consciousness happens when we stop doubting everything we can't explain with words. And as we open up to this new reality, we realize we're not here just to survive, but to evolve. And of course, there are those helping us on this journey, even if they come from far, far away. Some believe the universe is just chaos without direction, but they couldn't be more mistaken. There is an interplanetary organization, highly structured, that oversees Earth's spiritual processes with precision and harmony. We're talking about the so-called Ashta Command, a force made up of advanced civilizations that works alongside the Planetary Federation. These groups ensure that our awakening unfolds safely, ethically, and in sync with cosmic laws. It's as if we are being guided by a central hub of light, operating beyond our understanding but deeply respectful of our free will. This spiritual coordination is not science fiction, it's a spiritual reality experienced by many sensitives, channelers, and healers around the world. In spiritual channeling sessions, for example, it's not uncommon to receive intergalactic messages with insights about health, life purpose, and emotional evolution. These messages are filled with love, free from dogma, and help us view life from a cosmic perspective. Imagine realizing your pain has a purpose, and your struggles are part of a galactic plan for your inner expansion. That changes everything, doesn't it? And it doesn't stop there. This command also operates behind the scenes of spiritual experiences involving beings from other planets, guiding healing sessions, mediating conscious contact, and preparing souls for what's to come. If you've ever felt like someone was protecting you in a critical moment, maybe that someone wasn't from this world. The aliens among us are not intruders, they are silent allies, ready to intervene whenever we open space for them. And when the connection is made, well, that's when the technologies start revealing themselves in surprising ways. It's impossible to talk about spiritual healing with ETs without mentioning the absolutely incredible technologies these benevolent extraterrestrials use. We're talking about tools that scan the energetic body, identify imbalances, and apply high-precision interventions, all without physically touching the body. Many people have reported, during altered states of consciousness, the sensation of being inside a capsule of light, receiving magnetic or frequency-based pulses. This isn't fiction, it's part of a new reality where technology and spirituality walk hand in hand. These star beings and their spiritual energy operate using energetic biofilters and cellular reintegration mechanisms that restore the body's original, healthy template. There have even been reports of remission from so-called incurable diseases after intense sessions involving contact with this kind of technology. Of course, this doesn't replace traditional medicine, but it profoundly and silently complements it. The energy healing that comes from these sources doesn't follow human protocol, it goes straight to the root of the issue, even accessing past life records. If you work with therapies like Reiki, Theta healing, or are sensitive to energy and spaces, you might have already felt technological interference that didn't seem to come from this plane. In environments with group meditation and spiritual openness, these technologies can activate spontaneously. A good example is incorporating specific crystals like moldavite or libyanite, which seem to amplify this interaction. Bit by bit, we begin to realize that extraterrestrial help and healing isn't on its way, it has already arrived. We just need to learn to recognize the signs. Many people feel like they've never really fit into this world, as if there's something wrong with the way they think, feel, or live. But what if I told you that this isn't a problem? It's a clear sign that you might be a soul of stellar origin. It's estimated that 87% of the souls currently incarnated on Earth are here for the first time, having come from other planets, dimensions, or star systems. These souls carry subtle memories of other worlds, where spirituality and technology already coexist in harmony. That might explain why so many feel deeply drawn to spiritual healing with ETs or are spontaneously fascinated by advanced civilizations. These souls didn't come by accident. They have a mission, to help Earth transition into a new era of consciousness. Many lightworkers, holistic therapists, channelers, and spiritual seekers feel an inexplicable love for stars, galaxies, and the universe in general. That's no coincidence. These are coded memories beginning to awaken as a person engages in practices like meditation, Reiki, conscious breathing, or even by consuming content about spirituality and aliens. The famous awakening of consciousness often begins with an inner discomfort, a kind of longing for something you can't quite name. Once you understand this origin, everything starts to make more sense. Anxiety, insomnia, hypersensitivity could all be symptoms of a star soul trying to adapt to Earth's density. In such cases, practices like spiritual channeling, sunbathing meditations, and connecting with crystals can help balance your frequency. Knowing that you're not alone, and that there is a legion of star beings offering spiritual healing and energetic support, might be the relief you've been waiting for. That's when many begin to seek healing spaces where the presence of these cosmic allies is already beginning to manifest. If you've visited any spiritual or therapeutic center recently, you might have noticed a subtle, yet profound, shift in how energy work is being conducted. Many of these spaces are now opening up to the presence and guidance of benevolent extraterrestrials, building real bridges between human and cosmic intelligence. It's increasingly common to hear of therapists reporting contact with aliens and energetic healing during their sessions, sensing luminous presences assisting in Reiki, blessings, crystal therapy, and other practices. This isn't a trend, it's the beginning of a quiet spiritual revolution. This interdimensional alliance has been transforming how healings take place. Conventional methods become supercharged when combined with the refined spiritual energy of star beings. Some centers are already using channel techniques such as Pleiadian Reiki, Syrian healing, or Arcturian light protocols. These tools work directly with a person's energetic DNA, awakening dormant memories and accelerating the process of spiritual healing guided by star beings. If you haven't tried it yet, it's worth looking for centers that offer this integrative approach. The difference is felt deep in the soul. This new, more collaborative and multidimensional model also challenges old paradigms. It's no longer just about healing emotional wounds, it's about realigning your entire existence to your soul's original frequency. And that's where cosmic technologies, channeled guidance, and even signs of alien presence in spiritual therapies start to appear, unusual sounds, flickers of light, or sacred geometry seen in peripheral vision. As extraordinary as all this might sound, it's still just the surface of what these intelligences can offer when we fully surrender to the connection. Imagine a procedure so advanced it could remove diseased cells from your body without a scalpel, without pain, and without scars. Sounds like a movie, right? But spiritual experience reports describe exactly that: extraterrestrial technologies capable of performing healing with surgical precision, without any physical contact. In deep meditation, conscious regressions, or during spiritual healing sessions with ETs, many people describe being taken aboard ships or into chambers of light, where parts of their bodies are treated with vibrational beams that replace damaged tissue with new, like a cellular reboot. These technologies act as a bridge between science and spirit. Based on the body's original healthy blueprint, benevolent extraterrestrials operate with an intelligence far beyond modern medicine. The application of these tools resembles a vibrational field scan, a kind of spiritual X-ray, where only the unbalanced parts are treated. No side effects. Those who go through it report instant relief, mental clarity, and often a renewed perspective on life. It's energy healing taken to a cosmic level of precision. But that doesn't mean you need to wait for an abduction to access this resource. Simple practices can open this channel: meditations with healing intent, working with sacred symbols, using sacred geometry, and reading channeled materials from sources like Cryon, Bashar, or the Pleiadians themselves. These tools act like keys to tune your vibration to the frequency where this kind of help can happen. And once your energetic field is clean and receptive, the presence of these star beings and their healing technologies can begin to reveal itself much more clearly. For a long time, we were taught to see spirituality as something limited to earthly masters, religions, and fixed doctrines. But the new consciousness demands more; it demands expansion. The old paradigm is giving way to a new vision, where extraterrestrials and spiritual healing are not only compatible, but complementary. We're no longer talking about belief, we're talking about experience. All around the world, people are having spiritual experiences with beings from other planets that expand their understanding of soul, energy, and life purpose. It's like the veils are lifting, and new guides are beginning to reveal themselves. This spiritual update invites humans to see themselves as part of something much greater, a cosmic web where contact with advanced civilizations is natural, not exceptional. With each channeling, each lucid dream, and each moment of spiritual healing guided by star beings, we realize that traditional spirituality must evolve. The divine isn't just on altars, it's also in the stars. And the benevolent extraterrestrials, once feared or mocked, now show up as loving mentors, here to help us access higher levels of consciousness. And for those who want to begin expanding their spiritual vision, the path can be simple. Start by reading works like the Christ Letters, Bringers of the Dawn, Barbara Marciniak, or A Course in Miracles. Though they don't always talk directly about aliens, they prepare the mind for an intergalactic spirituality. With each insight, we dissolve outdated beliefs and open space for a new way of living, more fluid, connected, and authentic. And once this openness begins, new inspirations start to emerge, many of them, interestingly, from places we least expect, like fiction that might never have been fiction at all. Have you ever caught yourself thinking that certain fictional stories felt a little too real? Yeah, shows like Star Trek weren't just entertainment, they were seeds planted in the collective unconscious. Many of the tools shown in these stories, like teleportation, matter replicators, and telepathic communication, are symbolic versions of technologies that star beings and their spiritual energy already use. As our consciousness expands, we begin to realize that what we called imagination might actually be spiritual memory awakening. It's as if our screenwriters were channeling the future or recalling our galactic past. Several inventors, writers, and renowned artists have openly admitted to receiving inspiration from sources they couldn't explain. Nikola Tesla, for instance, often spoke about ideas that came to him from beyond. This makes us wonder whether these intergalactic messages have been reaching us for a long time, disguised as fiction so they'd be easier to accept. After all, it's easier to digest a revolutionary concept if it comes through a film or a book than through a lecture on spiritual channeling and aliens among us, right? But over time, the veil thins, and the truth starts sounding more familiar than strange. That's why it's worth revisiting these works with new eyes. Watch Contact, The Matrix, Avatar, Interstellar again, but this time, keep your mind open to the truths hidden between the lines. These films talk about spiritual healing with ETs, spiritual evolution guided by advanced civilizations, and planetary-scale consciousness awakening. And the more you allow yourself to dive into these universes, the more you'll understand that what once seemed like science fiction may have been the universe's way of gently preparing us for a new reality. And guess who's helping write the next chapter? For a long time, we were conditioned to fear the unknown, and that included the extraterrestrials among us. Movies about invasions, hostile aliens, and conspiracy theories created a stigma that's now being undone in this age of awakening. In reality, these beings haven't come to dominate, they've come to guide. They are evolutionary allies, cosmic guardians who, in silence, have been assisting in energy healing, planetary protection, and consciousness expansion. Those who feel their presence don't describe fear, they describe peace. They appear when the soul cries out for help, and they respond with love. The involvement of these benevolent extraterrestrials in spiritual healing with ETs is something even open-minded scientists are beginning to study. It's no longer just a belief, it's a lived experience. Reports of contact with aliens and energetic healing are increasing, especially among those going through spiritual transitions or critical life moments. These include visits, dream messages, energy activations, and other subtle experiences indicating we are being accompanied, guided, and yes, supported by higher dimensional intelligences. They don't interfere by force. They wait for our invitation. And once free will is honored, they establish a deep connection, where their presence becomes a catalyst for transformation. Healing accelerates, purpose becomes clearer, and reality expands. These star beings and their refined spiritual energy are, in truth, part of our cosmic family. And slowly, we begin to remember that. We begin to awaken. And with that awakening, Earth starts vibrating differently, ever more aligned with a new spiritual vision. We are witnessing the birth of a new spirituality, one that embraces the cosmos as part of the divine. The old model, bound by dogmas and separation, is beginning to dissolve in light of the evidence that alien presence on Earth is not a threat, but an opportunity. More and more people are connecting with advanced civilizations that act as spiritual mentors, helping us evolve with awareness, responsibility, and love. Spiritual healing with ETs is no longer taboo, it's becoming a legitimate tool for transformation. And honestly, isn't it about time we expanded our understanding of the sacred? This new paradigm recognizes that extraterrestrials and spirituality are part of the same equation. Traditional religions are beginning to dialogue with the esoteric sciences, quantum physics is finding common ground with spiritualism, and ufology is no longer ridiculed, it's being studied seriously. This integration is transforming how we deal with illness, trauma, fear, and even life purpose. Once we understand there's extraterrestrial help and healing, we shift from seeking intervention to building connection, from needing saving to collaborating. And here's the question that remains: how do we live this new spirituality in practice? It all starts with openness. Be willing to meditate with the intention of contact. Study intergalactic messages. Learn to recognize the signs of alien presence in spiritual therapies. And above all, trust your feelings and intuition. The awakening has already begun. Earth is vibrating differently now. And the choice is yours. Will you keep living in fear of the unknown, or will you open your arms and soul to this new era of light, healing, and cosmic reconnection? Now tell me, after all this, how can we keep living like nothing is happening? How can we ignore that there's a cosmic, loving, intelligent force actively working for our spiritual healing, right here, right now? The truth is, the world is changing, and you've been called to be part of that change. So answer honestly, how much longer will you delay your own transformation? Will you keep masking the pain with band-aids, or will you go to the root of it, with the help of star beings who are already ready to guide you? Will you go on ignoring the signs, or start seeing with the eyes of the soul? The choice is yours, but know this: a new reality is already unfolding. And those who open themselves to this paradigm will experience a kind of healing and awareness that goes far beyond anything books or current science can explain. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't let it fade. Subscribe to the channel right now, hit the bell icon, and share this with someone who's also seeking answers. Together, we can expand this field of awareness and awaken more people to this cosmic truth that is finally being revealed.